Police found a serial killer bleeding to death on top of his final victim. But the real horror was discovering just how many women he'd been killing for years without anybody connecting the dots. On the surface, this guy is your typical dude in the 1970s. Suburban Chicago, works as an electrician, he's super into skydiving and racquetball, and his friends describe him as very charming. But between 1974 and 1981, he's hunting young women across the western suburbs and nobody has a clue. It starts in January 1976 when a 16-year-old girl leaves her friend's house to grab a soda and never returns. Her body's found the next morning, raped, strangled, and dumped behind a guardrail. The case goes cold for decades. A few years later, in 1979, he lures a woman to a house pretending to sell her weed. Instead, he puts a gun to her head and rapes her. She is incredibly brave and she somehow convinces him that she wants to see him again. So she gives him her phone number and then goes straight to the police. But here's the kicker. The house belongs to his buddy, who happens to be a cop. And suddenly, her testimony doesn't count for much and no charges are filed. That same month, a 19-year-old woman leaves her apartment to pick up her sister and disappears. Her body turns up 3 weeks later in a river. In the following year, he abducts another woman from a parking lot, takes her to his apartment, and assaults her. She escapes while he's sleeping and actually gets him arrested this time. He posts bail, and then conveniently, the victim vanishes right before she's supposed to testify, and the charges are dropped. Her body turns up in a cornfield 2 years later. Then, in April 1981, he meets an 18-year-old guy at a bowling alley and invites him back for drinks, and attacks him. He stabs him 28 times, but this victim fights back hard, and during the struggle, the killer accidentally stabs himself in the leg, hitting his femoral artery. And when police arrive, they find him dead on top of his victim, both covered in blood, in his apartment. The case sits cold until 2019, when a detective decides to try new DNA technology on evidence from the first victim's clothing. They exhume the killer's body, test his DNA, and it's a perfect match. Then, they test evidence from another case, and it's a match again. One detective put it very bluntly: if he hadn't accidentally stabbed himself, he'd probably still have been killing until he was 70. They believe he murdered at least 12 women, maybe more. And after they publicly identified him in 2020, over 75 women came forward saying that he had attacked them. He never spent a single day in prison. He died at 28, taking most of his secrets with him.